Hey, it's Tom from Tom's Tunes. Today I'm going to show you how to install the triangular table or almond shaped table from pontoonstuff.com. We've got the flush mount base we're going to be installing today. So when you get it, it's actually going to have another floor base screwed in, just one screw holding it in place. That's fine. We're going to remove that and set it off to the side because we're not using that. I'm actually going to use the flush mount, which will sink into the floor. That way if we remove the table, we have a nice flush surface. No one's going to trip on it or anything. You also have your hardware to attach this to the floor. So our base here stays on the table because that's where the leg is going to attach. It's important to remember that on this table, it's a little bit oblong, so the back of the table that's going to face this back seat is going to be farther from center than this side. So when I mock it up, I'm actually going to put it into place the best I can, the most even I can, to get it where I want it. Then I'll make a mark, and then I'll cut my hole. So I am going to mock it up into the base. And I'm just going to make sure that it suits my needs for getting underneath. Remember, it's a little taller right now because the flush mount's sitting on top. So I'm going to leave plenty of space to slide in, move around the table, move around the corner bench seat. We're installing it in the back of the boat here. And the reason that we went with this triangular table is to open up the walkway. We happen to be on a double-decker boat, so kids getting to the ladder, food on the table, we have lots of room for moving around. So when I get this in the position that I like the best, I'm going to go ahead and hold it in place. From there, I'm going to put a foot on the table base, or both feet. I'm going to lift up, keeping my table mount in place. I'm going to pull the leg out, and then I'm going to take my Sharpie and I'm going to make a mark right under the center of that flush mount base. So that way, when I cut my hole, I've got my mark to know that I'm in the right position. The other thing to remember is you need to check to make sure that you're not going to cut right into, on this flush mount base, into a cross member of the boat. So get underneath your boat, take a look, make sure that you're not going to hit that, that cross member, then you can cut your hole with confidence. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to cut my hole, and then we'll install our flush mount base. I used a 2.5 inch hole saw, so if you measure this, it's just under 2.5 inches, the part that's going to drop in. 2.5 will give us room for these features on the outside to hold everything in place. Everything sits nice and flush. I can take the hardware bag that came with, and then with a number 3 Phillips bit and an impact, I'm going to drive these in just till they're sunk without stripping the wood, just sinking it into the vinyl just a little bit here. My base is in. If you ever have trouble with water gathering in the base, if you keep your table under the seats or somewhere else protected, you can always drill a small 1/8 inch hole in that flush mount base to let it drain through. Being that this is an upper deck boat and this table is going to stay in, we don't need to worry about that. My last steps, just installing my table. Then I can kick back, enjoy lunch or a snack on my table with a beverage too.